Russia, Syria's biggest ally, has spoken out against the alleged attacks carried out by Israeli jets on a military convoy carrying weapons near a military research center in the northwest of Damascus, which Syrian sources say has killed 2 people and injured 5 more. Russia then went on to say that such a strike would be an unacceptable violation of the UN Charter.
So dig this. A man was bulldozing a bog in central Ireland the other day when he noticed something unusual in the freshly turned soil. Turns out he'd unearthed an early medieval treasure, an ancient book of Psalms that experts date to the years 800 to 1000. Experts say it will take years of painstaking work to document and preserve this book, but eventually it will go on public display. Now here's the kicker. The book, about 20 pages of Latin script, was allegedly found open to Psalm 83. Now, if you're a scholar, as you know, Psalm 83, God hears complaints that other nations are plotting to wipe out the name of Israel.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
We don't know what this could mean, but the French press agency put out this photo from today showing St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican on the day we learned the Pope was abdicating, on a day of stormy weather in Rome, it should be said.
We want to show you some extraordinary pictures which came to us from the Vatican on what was, of course, an extraordinary day. Within hours of Pope Benedict announcing that he was to resign, take a look at this. Lightning struck St. Peter's Basilica. You can see it again now in slow motion. Extraordinary. It happened just before 6 o'clock in the evening, local time.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Across our local skies, taken by the people, well, people in the right place at the right time with the camera ready to go. Professional astronomers now are weighing in on this unexpected show.
Well, meteors hit the Earth's atmosphere all the time, every day, every hour. They're pretty common. Bright ones like this are pretty spectacular. They happen a number of times a year, so you just have to be in the right place at the right time to catch sight of one. The direction this meteor was traveling pretty much tells us that it was not an Orionid. It wasn't traveling, it didn't look like it was coming from the constellation Orion.
All right, so let's go to Chief Meteorologist Jeff Ranieri in the Weather Center.
Well, we were able to see this so clearly tonight. At least a lot of people, our phones were flooded in the newsroom. So what's next the next few nights?
Yeah, the reason why we're able to see that so brightly is because it was probably cooked up to about 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, traveling about 140,000 plus miles per hour. So a lot of you saw that bright flash, of course, the meteor in the sky. And what enabled us to see this so clearly was the moon was less than 10% visible at a crescent phase, and also mainly clear visibility at 10 miles and or better. We had a little bit of haze out there, but again, widespread visibility of this meteor because of our very warm and hot weather that provided those clear skies today. Now we're going to see other meteors in the skies we head throughout the next 2 to 3 days from the Orionid meteor shower. Best viewing will be as we head throughout Thursday after midnight. We're still expecting mainly clear conditions. You want to look southwest to the sky towards the constellation Orion, where we could see 50 to 70 meteors per hour. That will be traveling again at 148,000 plus miles per hour. Could we see one as large as what we had tonight? Well, Mother Nature only knows the answer to that, so you'll have to get up and take a look out towards the sky.
Whoa, 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 whoa. See that? What was that? I saw a shooting star directly in front of me.
It looked like a lightning bolt.
Just saw 2 lights basically like right over there.
Just shone right over the whole bay. It was
And here's a look at what they saw. This video sent to YouTube showing what appears to be a ball of fire streaking across the night sky.
Good evening. I'm Dan Ashley.
And I'm Amma Dateson for Carolyn Johnson.
Well, it has certainly been a strange 24 hours for things coming at us from space. The giant asteroid that came close to Earth, the meteor that exploded in Russia, and now tonight's breaking news, a meteor streaking across the Bay Area sky. ABC 7 News reporter Alan Wong is live at Chabot Space and Science Center in Oakland tonight. Alan, a lot of people saw this thing.
A lot of people saw it, and a lot of people were talking about it tonight. Many of those people up here came to see an asteroid passing by the Earth, but instead it's been like Christmas time for astronomers. Reports are coming in from around the bay, but mostly on the peninsula. A bright blue light streaking across the western sky at around 7:40 tonight. Someone claiming to have recorded the meteor while driving down 280 posted this video on YouTube. Another witness looked at the video and says it's what he saw as well. We caught up with some people who saw it at Ocean Beach in San Francisco.
Just it looked like like a flash of lightning. And that's basically what it looked like, and it was quick. It happened. I saw it twice. He saw it once or twice, like 3 times.
We just saw 2 lights, basically, like right over there.
Just shining right over the whole bay. It was crazy. It was like insane.
Apparently, there was another bright meteor seen in the sky. Maybe not as bright as the one that was seen in Russia.
More people seem to be paying attention to the sky after a meteor slammed into Russia today. It streaked across the Siberian sky and smashed into the Earth with the power of an atomic bomb, injuring more than 1,000 people, mostly from broken glass. NASA says the meteor was about the size of a building and moving at 40,000 miles per hour.
The recent occurrences is probably what makes people interesting. That's definitely what has me up here.
What do you know about asteroids?
I know that they can be dangerous.
Meanwhile, another asteroid is passing very close to the Earth tonight. It's the closest any asteroid has ever gotten to the Earth. Stargazers came out to get a glimpse of a fuzzy dot on a video screen. 17,000 miles seems like a long distance, but the asteroid is so close to the Earth that astronomers say the Earth's gravity is bending its path.
Which means it does have some potential, although it doesn't have an immediate potential of hitting the Earth.
A lot of astronomical activity in the past 24 hours, but astronomers here say it's just a wonderful coincidence. Reporting live from the Chabot Space and Science Center in Oakland, I'm Alan Wong, ABC 7 News.
Just still odd, so close together. Alan, thanks very much. Well, people have been tweeting about this tonight. This from Texas girl Erin, who tweeted, "Just saw it from Market and 5th in San Francisco. Intense and colorful." And Kept Floatin' said there was a trail of bluish-white light for about 10 to 20 seconds. And this from Angela. "We were on 280 heading north when we saw a bright falling star, as my kids call it." Now, if you snapped a picture or video of the meteor tonight, we would certainly love to see it. Just send it to youreport@kgotv-tv.com.
Well, it is unlikely that a meteor will ever hit your home, but if it does, are you covered by insurance? 7 on your side's Michael Finney got some answers.
That is one of the things that is definitely covered under your homeowner's insurance policy. A lot of people may not realize it because it doesn't happen that often, but if it does, it is something that would be covered.
And you hope it doesn't. Tully Lehman, an insurance industry spokesman, also says damage from the meteor concussion, like we saw in Russia, would also be covered. Other events that would likely be covered under your homeowner's insurance include volcanoes, lightning strikes, and falling satellites.
Some breaking news this hour. People in the Urals in Russia have seen burning objects raining down from the sky after a meteorite exploded above the Earth, causing a meteor shower. Eyewitnesses reported several blasts rocking the region and as long trails of smoke in the air. And RT's Lucy Gafanov has more now. So, Lucy, what's going on there?
Hi there, Yulia. Well, remember, imagine you're driving to work on a beautiful, calm Friday morning, and suddenly a massive fireball appears out of nowhere in the sky. You're thinking to yourself, is this a plane crash? Is this a rocket attack, a UFO? Well, when it comes to the Urals region in Chelyabinsk, the city in Russia, it's actually a meteor shower. This is what took place this morning. Really stunning images that you're seeing there right now. Now, what we know from officials, according to officials and eyewitnesses, is that a series of explosions, possibly possibly 5 to 6, took place when this meteor exploded in the air, raining down molten hot debris onto the ground. Now, this has caused widespread panic in at least 3 cities. Witnesses reported the walls of houses shaking, windows being blown out, cell phones even reportedly stopped working in some areas. Now, we're still getting the details. Details are still slowly coming in from officials, but what we know so far is that there are no casualties, no massive injuries. At least that's what we're hearing at the moment. There has been some concern about potential small injuries at a school, unconfirmed. So some schools are reportedly being evacuated. We're also hearing that a zinc factory was hit by a piece of the meteor, but no leaks reported so far. Officials did do preliminary testing of radiation levels in the area. They say that that is okay, but of course tests are going to continue throughout the day. The biggest issue right now is the falling debris and the smoke, the black smoke that people are reporting that is hanging in the air. So very, very shocking developments, probably not the kind of surprise you want to see on your way to work on Friday morning. One interesting fact of note is that the world is closely watching another meteor that's supposed to graze past the Earth later on this evening. That's the size of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. This is an unrelated incident, and of course, as it develops, we will continue to bring you more information. Again, no casualties reported so far. Radiation levels are okay at the moment, but of course, we'll have to keep you up to date as the developments come in.
Я сейчас подойду, подожди. Я себе. Ебать! Волна ж накрыла! Что за хуйня? Да волна ж накрыла, смотри! Вот, что за мировая война, нахуй! Да ты смотри там!
Смотри, как закручивается. А никуда не уебало хоть дальше-то. По касательной с атмосферой прошел, блядь. Тут когда он двойной, почему-то в две стороны закручивается, блядь. Продолжение будет, нет? Смотри.
On the broadcast tonight, fire in the sky. A massive meteor crashes to Earth. 1,000 people injured in an explosion with the force of an atomic bomb. And it happened on the same day as another close encounter, the closest asteroid we've ever seen.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. I'm Lester Holt in tonight for Brian. The sky is not falling, but you'd be forgiven if the thought crossed your mind after two spectacular but apparently unrelated cosmic close encounters today within just hours of each other. This morning in a remote part of Russia, some thought the world was ending when a 10-ton meteor, 5 stories tall, hurtled to Earth and exploded, causing a lot of injuries and doing a lot of damage without actually hitting anything. Its fiery descent was captured in vivid detail by numerous cameras. And then this afternoon, there was a very close call with a massive asteroid that whizzed by just 17,000 miles from our planet. In celestial terms, that is a very near miss. What do scientists make of all this? It was all one big cosmic coincidence. NBC's Tom Costello reports.
The video from Russia is incredible. A massive meteor traveling at 33,000 miles per hour, trailing a brilliant white contrail, hitting the atmosphere and exploding with the force of an atomic bomb. The shockwave over the town of Chelyabinsk damaged thousands of buildings, knocked down a factory wall, and blew out windows across the city in freezing temperatures. Just as kids were starting the school day.
The ceiling was okay, but all the windows were broken. Almost all the window panes were damaged. There are no windows without damage.
The shards of glass injuring more than 1,000 people, 100 hospitalized.
I heard this extremely loud noise that shook my apartment.
Canadian hockey player Michael Garnett lives in Chelyabinsk. We talked to him via Skype.
It blew the vents out of my bathroom and there was debris on the floor. And I'm up on the 23rd floor and I could feel the building swaying.
Pieces of the meteor punched a hole in a frozen lake but missed the town and a nearby nuclear plant. In Washington, scientist Linda Welsenbach specializes in meteorites at the Smithsonian.
These are the primitive materials left over from when the planets formed and say are the basic building blocks of all our planetary material.
It's heavy.
It is indeed heavy.
And in an amazing coincidence, the other space rock, an asteroid half the size of a football field, came whizzing by this afternoon. While the space station orbits 220 miles above the Earth, this afternoon's asteroid passed 17,000 miles above the Earth, much closer than many satellites that orbit 22,000 miles out.
An object as large as this passes by the Earth, we think, on average, about once every 40 years.
Two close calls today, with the world wondering what would have happened if either one had hit a city. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is an astrophysicist and director of the Hayden Planetarium here in New York. Dr. Tyson, good to have you. You're a man in demand today.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, apparently.
We all have a lot of questions about this. What we saw in Russia, first off, we know that this
extraordinary.
This is a big planet, mostly water. So is this something that happens more often than we know?
With these blasts of that magnitude, there was one in the 90s that there was an air blast above India and Pakistan, right when they were negotiating nuclear control. And so that's a little worrisome because one of them might have accused the other of a first strike. If you fill in the blanks with places these might have fallen where no one would have taken notice, like the middle of the Pacific or over Antarctica or over the North Pole or northern Canada, I'm imagining you'd get impacts of that magnitude anywhere between 1 every 5 to 10 years.
And we should note, again, a lot of people have dashboard cameras in Russia, so those pictures we saw. Now, let me ask you about this asteroid that had the near miss today. 17,000 miles, very close.
That's a buzz cut.
Here's what I've got to ask. Half the size of a football field. Had it hit us?
Yeah.
Catastrophic?
Oh, yeah, for the regionally catastrophic, no doubt about it. You saw what happened with that asteroid over in Russia, and that one is the size of just sort of a large boulder. This one was much larger. Would hit with much more energy, and the energy's got to go somewhere. In an air blast, there is heat. There is the pulse of a compressive wave. It's basically a shock wave that can level buildings. You don't want that to happen over a city. And we're happy that most of Earth's surface is ocean and most of Earth's land is not inhabited. So you just sort of, count your chances every time this happens, which is why I don't want to run away from these things. I want to deflect them. It'd be nice if we had funding to do such a thing, but no such program in the world exists.
That's another discussion. I could talk to you about this all day, but we appreciate you coming by.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
New from the Newsplex tonight, all eyes to the sky, a strange sight across South Florida. You can kind of see it there. Caught on video by a 7 News viewer, the night team's Alexa Helms, live on Miami Beach with the story. Alexa?
Well, Blake, as you know, the sightings in the sky have been making headlines across the world, and here in South Florida, it's no different. We've actually gotten several calls from viewers from Deerfield Beach right here to Miami Beach who said they looked up and they couldn't believe what they saw.
Never seen anything like that ever in my life.
One 7 News viewer sending us this hazy video capturing the moment.
Saw a red fireball with a green tail behind it for about 7 or 8 seconds and just dissipate into the atmosphere.
A South Florida man calling it a fireball shooting across the sky. The mysterious light seen here at Alton and 23rd on Miami Beach just after dusk on Sunday.
It wasn't anything like a firework or a shooting star. I know what both of those look like. It was very large, red, orange, very geometrically circular.
It's hard to see in the video, but viewers say it was a bright red and orange light in the sky and only lasted a few seconds before disappearing.
But by the time I had my phone up, it was already gone.
Recently around the world, everyone's had their eyes to the sky.
Just very awestruck in a time right now when lots of meteors are entering our atmosphere. Just think it's very interesting.
The spotting happening here in South Florida just days after a giant meteor exploded over Russia Friday, injuring more than 1,000 people. And that same day in San Francisco, people reported seeing a light green light streaking across the sky. Scientists calling that one a sporadic meteor. NASA even reporting a 150-foot cosmic rock hurtled safely past Earth. It was the closest known flyby for a rock of its size, passing within 17,000 miles. Now, while there's no official word yet on what exactly this mysterious light was, the U.S. Coast Guard in Key West says that they've gotten several phone calls about this same light. We're live in Miami Beach. Alexa Helms, 7 News, Night Team.
Jesus Christ is coming back for his church. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 24 verse 42, "Watch therefore, for you do not know the hour your Lord is coming." I want you to know, church, that Jesus Christ could come this month, or he might come next week, or he could even come